Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel on the farm. Today is new trailer day. I couldn't be more excited. This is something that I have been looking at for a couple of years now, been wanting to get, and I was finally able to pull the trigger. And what this is, as you can see, is a new Bale wagon. We have a new hay trailer on the farm. This is a 14x4, hauls 14 bales total. It is a double dump, and this is its maiden voyage right here. I'm about to dump the first load on it. I just loaded up some bales on the other side of the farm and haul them up here to where they will be used by my neighbor. So I'm gonna dump this thing, and then we'll come back and talk about it, go over some of the features that I like. Kind of an initial review. Again, I don't have just a whole lot of time with it. I just bought it a couple of days ago. I'll just tell you some initial thoughts on it, but eventually I will be able to do a long-term review on it. So anyhow, with that, let's get started. All right, there is the first load off of the new double dump 14x4 hay trailer, and it went about as I expected. So let's go around and I'll show you some features of it, talk about why I went with this specific trailer, the size and all that, and then show you some features that comes with it. Let's take a look at it right quick. Just that first load right there, I can already tell you I'm gonna like this thing. Really handy. Really makes moving hay quick, and obviously the best part is unloading the hay. You dump it and you're done. Now you obviously might have to come through and place these in a more permanent location if you desire to do that. So that's going to be different for everybody, and it also depends on the area you have, how much room you're storing your hay in, and all that. But again, that's everybody's going to be a little bit different. So this is a 14x4, which means it hauls 14 bales total. It is a double dump, so it's 7 bales on each side. Those are 4-foot bales. If you're hauling 5-foot wide bales, obviously it's not going to hold as many. I got this from DH Farm Equipment up in Payton, Oklahoma. He delivered it to me. From what I can tell, really good company, small business to work with. So if you're in the market for one of these trailers, I know they have them. And the way he talked, they go through them pretty quick, so they probably sell a lot of these. So give those guys a call, check them out. I believe they do have a website. I dealt with Les, L-E-S, so highly recommend Les. If you're gonna want to do some research on one of these and talk to somebody, give Les a call over at DH Farm Equipment. This is a Bale wagon. I guess that's the brand that they are calling it, but let's be honest. It is Industrias America, and if you know about Industrias America, it's just a bunch of farm equipment, attachments, and implements and things that are made in Mexico. It is what it is. There are American-made hay trailers, absolutely. But for just a hay trailer and what I'm needing it for, I didn't really see the need to spend several $1,000s more for something that's going to do the same thing. And there are a bunch of these out there, and they seem to be holding up just fine. So this is the one I went with, save a little money. Again, it's got one thing that it does very well, and that is haul hay. It's really not going to be used for much of anything else. Might could haul some pipe and things like that on it. I think that would be another application for it possibly, but other than that, hay is going to be the main thing. So why spend and tie your money up in a lot of extra, in something like this when it really is kind of a one-trick pony. But let's go over some of the features. It has your double jacks, which that's nice. No problems there. It seems to be pretty well made from what I can tell for the most part. Got all your chains. It's got a nice spring-loaded hitch on it for your ball. It's got an adjustable hitch on it, so you can adjust this for your different pickup heights if you need to. Has plenty of cord for your plug. And when I'm talking about the plug, it also has brakes and a breakaway kit. Both axles are braked. These are 7K axles each. That's where you get your 14,000 pound rated. That's gross. Obviously you factor in trailer weight and your payload. That's not 14,000 pounds of payload, but that's the topic for another video. And they have a couple different options when it comes to your dump release. I just went with the manual jack style. They have these in hydraulic also. Personally, I didn't see a need to have the hydraulic, and really when I was jacking that right there to release it, it wasn't hard at all. This jack is plenty strong. Not going to be any problems. You know, it wasn't a lot of effort to get this to dump at all. They do put springs, one in the front and one in the back on each dump rail, whatever you want to call this, the carrier, each dumping carrier. So you can see there's a spring over there. So there's a spring on the front and a spring on the back of each carrier. And what this does is it's a lift assist. So I'm going to go back here and lift this up. I did that one-handed. Now it takes a little bit of effort, but once you get it broke over to a certain spot, it's no problem at all. Of course, you got your greasable axles. We got LED lights all around, LED tail lights. You even have a lit up license plate tag if you are required to have one of those. And then we have this other side, so we'll reset it. Again, we'll just lift up on it. And then all we have to do is turn our jack the opposite way. And the way that this catches is, so here are the catches. So this pin is built into the carrier, and then when you move the jack, this pin slides over the top of this pin on both sides of, on the side of both carriers, and that is what keeps your carriers in place while you're hauling your bales. Let me walk back here to the back. I want to show you one thing that, so this is a removable, I don't know what you call it, a bump stop, or really what it's for is when you place the bales on here. If you have some bales that are really tight, sometimes your spears don't like to come out of those. And this is meant to be slick right here, right? So there's not a lot of resistance on this whenever you go to pull your spears out of that bale. And so sometimes it can be difficult to, make your bale stay in place on this carrier as you pull your spears out. Well, I like this little feature right here. What they added was this little flat bar across here. And I used this several times when I was loading this up. I put the bale on here, and your bale bumps up against this as you pull your spears out, and no problem there. The problem is, I think they forgot one. And so my salesman is actually supposed to be checking to see if this just comes with one, which I wouldn't imagine it coming with just one. Should be one on each of these carriers. And he was gonna get back with me and see if he couldn't get me another one to go on here. So definitely think that is a good feature. There are some little small details and things like that on these that I think they did a good job on. I mean, overall, I like the build quality. It appears to be pretty good. Definitely happy with the quality, the purchase. I mean, for what it is, what it's going to do, I don't see there going to be any issues. But I realize there might actually be some of you folks out there watching this that have more experience with these than I do. And feel free to chime in below and let me know what you think. If you have, this Bale Wagon Industrias America brand, has it held up for you? Are you having problems with it? What are those problems? Just let me know in the comments, let everybody else know in the comments, and so that we can all kind of learn together. As time goes on, I will be able to comment more on how it's going to hold up, how it has held up. But, right now it's still new to me. So far I like it, so we'll just have to see how that goes. And that's one reason why I didn't want to go with the hydraulic release system, because I'm just trying to keep it simple. And when you add hydraulics, I like hydraulics. They're nice. They do make things easier, but that's also something else that can go wrong and something else you're gonna have to troubleshoot. And this is a jack, I can replace that pretty easy, pretty economically if something does happen to it. And the odds are the jack is going to last a very, very, very long time without any issues. So there you go. That's pretty much all the features. It's pretty simple. You know, nothing complicated or complex about it. Like I said, it's kind of a one-trick pony. It does one thing, and it does that one thing very well, and that is haul hay. But what I like about this is that it makes it very quick. You can haul several loads, 2 to 3 loads, you know, quicker versus one load on a regular trailer, like you probably seen on the last video where I was hauling hay with my flatbed trailer. If I'd have had this, man, it'd been no time hauling at all. And I wouldn't have had to have had that skid steer there here to actually unload that hay. That's what I like about it. It's you load the hay, get to where you want it, you know, in the area, dump it, you can go back for another load, and it just makes it really quick. And if you have looked at these trailers, then you probably know how they load and unload. It's really simple. You know, you just come on the back here, and ideally you push them from the back towards the front. As you progressively add bales, you come up with a new bale, and you just push the bales that are on here up towards the front until you get it all loaded, and that's it. As you've probably seen here in the video, in the aerial shots, very simple, really nothing to it. And then you see me dump it, just take that jack and move those pins. It's hard to tell right here on camera probably, but where these are mounted in these bale carriers, it's actually off center. It's off center a little bit so that once you get the weight of those bales on there, it naturally wants to tip. And so when you release those pins, it's gonna tip over. All right, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I forgot to go over. I can't really think of anything. Like I said, it's a pretty simple trailer, but I think it's going to come in really handy and save a lot of time as we move more bales. Every year it seems like I'm moving more and more bales, so I was definitely glad to pick this up. I think it's going to be a huge time saver. All right, thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment down below if you have one of these bale wagons, or you know what you think about this one. I think I'm really going to like it. Thank y'all for watching. Thanks for checking out the video. God bless, and we'll see you on the next one.